Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Today is Independence Day, and it is a day that we celebrate here in the United States of America, July the 4th, 1776. What a day it was. Let's explore. So on July the 4th, 1776, that was the issuance of a document drafted and by Thomas Jefferson, with the help of many others, by the way, to edit and revise the language therein, that declared independence from Great Britain at the time. It was a time of great turmoil and distress. It was a very bold move. In fact, there was a lot of people that was against it at the time. But nonetheless, the Founding Fathers were held true and held strong, and they each signed that document, all 56 of them. And essentially, by doing so, many of them signed their death warrant. It was a very risky proposition to do that. But nonetheless, because of that act, we are here today. And it has affected, the outcomes of and the emboldened many other nations around the world to kind of follow suit in the path of liberty. And that is what is inscribed in these two coins that you see before you here, the concept of liberty, which is essentially government recognizing freedom and independence within ourselves. And that is sort of a concept that I think that holds true for many of us who acquire silver and gold. By holding these metals, it is a way to protect ourselves. Because from the very beginning of the founding of this nation in 1776, it was all about we the people. Now, we the people, you may remember, is the first words of the Constitution, which was adopted years later in 1787, first by the state of Delaware. But that's what it's about. It's about we the people. And that is a message, and the message of independence, liberty, and freedom. These are concepts that transcend any one nation. Even though it's part of what makes our nation exceptional, other nations around the world and other people in those nations, regardless of what system of government you have, or the political state that you may be in your particular country, it still can hold true for you by holding these precious metals. But even more importantly than holding the precious metals, having that concept in your heart. Because you are valuable as people, and you're individuals. And if you can hold fast and hold true and understand the concept that your value has worth and your freedom has worth and should be recognized by your governments. And even if there are cases where some people may feel in certain nations, or even sometimes in our nations by some local governments or state governments, where you may feel slightly, that you're losing that, I would consider you to take a look at some of these coins for inspiration and realize that these concepts do transcend any region, any border, or any one particular system of government. Within yourself, find that freedom, and hold true to it. But I do think it's something to recognize here in the United States, because essentially we struggle with it. Liberty is a concept that essentially it needs to be refreshed every once in a while. There's no question about it. And you look at a time back in the War of 1812 when we've had to defend it. And because today is a day where people do celebrate. And fireworks are one way to celebrate. When the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. That's what happened after the victory, after they could see the flag that was still there. I believe there was 15 states at the time. There it is. Fort McHenry is where that flag flew. We knew then and there that was the birth of a revitalization of the nation, and that also was the birth of the Star-Spangled Banner, which is our national anthem to this day. So there you have it. I hope you all enjoy the day and remember the foundations from which our nation was founded. But also, if you live in another nation around the world, I hope you can appreciate the concept of liberty and freedom and independence. Find it within your heart, because that's where it starts, is within your heart. There's something about independence and self-governance to a degree. And again, that does not mean that we don't need government or that we shouldn't have government, but I believe it should be a limited government. And because by and large, the engines of the economy, the engines of this country, are based around what the founders knew from the very beginning, before the rough draft of the Declaration of Independence was even drafted, and that is the concept of we the people. And each one of you watching this video has worth and is a valuable member of the citizen of the world, but also of your nation. Be proud of who you are and embrace liberty and embrace freedom. So I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching. I hope you all have a blessed Independence Day, no matter where you're at in the world. And I'd like to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.